I'm Bronwyn Bright, and I would like to talk about how notions of femininity and body politics inform my art. A few years ago, I found myself exploring the notion of the feminine by depicting a series of female bodies involved in various states of celebration. I wanted to explore the way the viewer engages with a piece of art that blatantly forces them to think about women, sexuality, body politics, and power. My intention was to challenge the viewer to think about where he or she stands on female body politics by representing portions of women with large, heavy breasts and rounded stomachs, distorted from realistic depictions of women. The absence of identity in the close-cut and cropped images fetishizes strangers united in the act of looking, and the textured surfaces invite them to touch, an act that is forbidden to the viewers by the nature of the art's display. Nonetheless, the viewer is engaged with the art through the idea of touch, and by virtue of the subject matter, the scopophilic aspect of the female form is subverted by the texture. The viewer is asked to look at the images of women from a visible perspective, a male perspective. This places women in a role that is separated from the image of man, so the gaze and the viewer become involved in the act of objectifying the images by the nature of looking. Although the three images vary in their degrees of separation, there also exists an element of violence, perhaps because of the alarming tree trunk texture of the skin, the color choice, particularly in the blue and red image, and because the images of women severed from their identifying features. It was not my intention to evoke feelings of revulsion, but it ended up working with the theme of exploring what is feminine. My images of these women are not meant to be simply aesthetically pleasing representations because there are disturbing aspects of female body politics. Eventually, I needed to arrive at a place of celebration in order to reject notions of female beauty, but in order to get there, I had to force the viewer to acknowledge that there is an ugliness in the act of looking, expecting, and judging. My journey with the female form continued, and gradually my work became softer and less aesthetically challenging. I created 2 more images of identityless women, and 1 portrait that I felt captured a sense of the subject. The last image, one of a smiling girl done in complementary colors in oil pastel, hung on my wall at home for a year. It invited me to think about art in a different way. This new theme was about capturing a feeling or essence of subject matter. It introduced me to a new way of looking at identity.